Hello and welcome to another lesson from the IeltsCoach.com. As we can see in today's lesson, I'm going to give you some suggestions about how you can learn IELTS vocabulary, how you can learn useful vocabulary in the IELTS exam, not just learn it, but how to remember it and how to use it in real IELTS exam style questions. So I'm going to give 5 suggestions here about how your vocabulary can be improved, and I should not have to go into how important vocabulary is. Obviously, you know in the writing and speaking, 25% of your mark is about vocabulary, correct use, advanced use, variety of vocabulary that you know. So vocabulary is very important, and here are some suggestions about how to improve your level of vocabulary for the IELTS exam. My first suggestion is to keep a record of your vocabulary. Write things down. It may depend on what type of learner you are, but I think all students benefit from having their own personal list. Yes, maybe having the dictionary app on your phone helps you find vocabulary quickly, but the actual act of writing words down and reading words that you have written and sentences with those words actually helps you to remember them. Of course, if you remember them, you are more likely to use them. So keep a record of your vocabulary. And a dictionary has 20,000, 50,000 words. You don't need that many words. Keep a list of the words that you need to know. Keep a list of the words that you want to start using in your IELTS speaking and writing exams. The next part about the vocabulary is learning relevant vocabulary. Don't learn every possible word. Don't learn words that may not apply to you. So it does depend on your current level of vocabulary. Obviously, if you're at a 5 or 5.5 in IELTS, you are not going to be learning the most advanced vocabulary. You won't be able to understand it or to use those words correctly. Start with words that are just beyond your level. So as you improve, as your vocabulary expands, you will be able to use more advanced words. But how do you find relevant vocabulary? Mostly you would find it within IELTS, within example essays, within reading activities. When you do a reading, find 5 or 6 new words in a reading text that you can use, but think about how you can use those new words in your writing exam or in a speaking answer. Don't just write a word down because you don't know it and you want to learn it, only if it's going to help you in your speaking or writing. Then it's a relevant word that you can use over and over again. When you're learning vocabulary, you need to learn how to use the word correctly. Not just understanding the word, which is a passive skill. In the reading or listening test, if you see or hear the word, I know what that word means. But that's not active vocabulary. Learn how to use it. Can you make a sentence with that word in speaking? Can you write a sentence with that word in writing? And can you write a sentence based on IELTS writing, either in a letter describing data or in an essay? Is that word useful for you? Use it in a sentence. Use it correctly. Make sure that you know the correct word form. Can it be an adjective, a noun, a verb? Okay, how can you change that word? Use flexibility. Flexible use of vocabulary is part of your vocabulary score. So don't just learn the word, learn how to use it and how to use it in different ways. The next thing is to review. Learning vocabulary is actually quite easy. I see some students, they might learn 50 words a day and then they forget 49 of them. So learning is the easy part, reviewing, remembering, and using is the hard part. So don't forget to review. My suggestion is don't try and learn more than 5 or 6 words in a day. If you have a list of 20 words, you're not going to remember all of them. Learn 5 or 6, review them over 2, 3, or 4 days, then learn some more words. How you review and how frequently you review is up to you. But look at the words, say the words, make sentences with the words, write sentences with the words. Okay, you have to review the word. Learning it once or twice is not going to help you. You will forget it. Review as often as possible, and don't just review by looking at the word. Review by saying the word, by writing the word. And my last tip here for how to learn IELTS vocabulary is use the vocabulary in your writing and speaking. When you do your next writing exam, think of any words that you've learned recently that can be used. Not all words will be used, but think of words that possibly could be used in writing and in speaking. And when you're doing your writing and speaking, think of situations where, oh, I wish I knew another word for this. Oh, I wish I knew how to say this. If you want to know how to say it, learn it. That's relevant vocabulary. So be active with the new vocabulary that you learn. So if you do learn new words like fluctuated or respectively, those words can be used most often in IELTS Writing Task 1. Start using them and start using them correctly. Okay, but be active in using that vocabulary, that new vocabulary. So I hope that these 5 ideas will help you with your vocabulary. Underneath this video, I will include a link to my vocabulary record sheet, which includes examples of how to write and how to keep track of new vocabulary. And it includes a worksheet that you can write 5 new words in. So 1 worksheet a day would be appropriate, but it also includes a place to write the word, to write the meaning, to write the pronunciation, and to write a sentence with that word. So I'll leave a link to that worksheet for learning vocabulary underneath this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please watch another video to continue learning and improving for the IELTS exam. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you can get new videos that will help your IELTS preparation. Thank you and goodbye.